In this video, we're going to be going over some of the fun features about the Penthouse XL rooftop tent from Big Country 4x4 out of South Africa, provided by Rugged Bound Supply Company out of Houston, Texas. All right, so before we get started, let's talk about who makes this thing, right? Like, where does this thing come from? Let's get a little bit of, insight about the tent. This thing is made by a company called Big Country 4x4 out of South Africa. They've been building hard shell overland rooftop tents since 2005, so they know what they're doing. They've updated this tent specifically for the U.S. market for the needs of the American Expedition Overlanders. Basically, they've made the tent massive. It has a full-size mattress inside. Like, there's a ton of room inside this thing. It's packed with all kinds of cool features like internal storage, lights, USB port, closed cell foam insulation, and load-bearing roof rails on top of the tent to store items outside of the tent. These tents were built for harsh African expeditions, but also built for comfort. They've manufactured this thing to be extremely durable, but yet extremely comfortable when you're out camping. Okay, so let's get into this thing, right? So this particular model is the Arrow, meaning that it is not as tall in the front as it is in the back. The front of the tent is 7 3/4 inches tall. The rear is 11 3/4 inches tall, which allows you to leave your bedding inside the tent when it's closed, which is amazing. I've had several tents in the past and used several tents where leaving your bedding inside proved to be extremely challenging to close the tent back up. And then in a small mid-sized truck like the Tacoma, it's hard to store all of your bedding inside the cab, plus the dogs, plus all the rest of your gear. So being able to leave your bedding inside is super awesome. So let's get into the ladder here. The ladder here is not the model that will come with your tent if you order one. So this was a pre-production tent. So this was kind of like a slide in together type of ladder. However, they have now upgraded to a production model with a telescoping ladder that will also mount on the top, just like this was mounted up top. So, a little better ladder. Again, this was like 3 of the pre-production tents that were in the United States. But you can see the load rails up top as well. So the ladder mounts are mounted to the load rails. Those load bars will hold up to 176 pounds when the tent is closed. So to open up the tent, there's 2 latches here. You can see I'm holding the camera, literally opening this thing in one hand. There's a handle there on the top, so you just push it up. It's got 2 heavy-duty gas-assisted struts on either side of the tent. And bang, just like that, the tent is up. So it does have a rain fly. You got your traditional prop rods with stainless steel hardware for the inserts here. Plug it in the hole, twist it up, and then hook the eyelet there, here on the corner, just like so. There's one of those on either side of the tent. And then there's 2 little kind of bungees on each side to kind of pull the rain fly back down towards the bottom of it. So once you got the rain fly all the way mounted up the way it's supposed to be or deployed, it's completely dust and rain proof. After a full day of overlanding, it can be a dusty and sometimes extremely wet affair. So it's fitted with a heavy duty rubber seal all the way around the tent when it's closed to allow no water inside the tent. And then the canvas is a 260 GSM UV treated ripstop canvas, and all the seams are sealed with hot air tape. So there's not going to be no water penetration in the tent. So like I said a while ago, this ladder is not going to be in the production model tents. However, the telescoping ladder model will operate the exact same way. So the telescoping ladder will have little slide-in channels just like this one did. So it'll slide in a little T-track there on the side of the tent, and of course telescope down. You can actually access the tent from all 3 sides, so both sides and then the very rear of the tent. Like I said, this is not the ladder that will come with it now. They have since upgraded, and it'll also have a sleeve for the ladder and then also a shoe bag. I do not have the shoe bag on mine. But anyway, once we climb up into the tent here, you can see it is massive. You've got a 3-inch high-density foam mattress. It's actually 2 layers. It's 2 inches of high-density foam and then 1 inch of convoluted foam. And this thing is super durable. It's got closed cell foam insulation underneath the tent and all the way around the whole inside of the tent on the bottom of the roof. The mattress is big. It is a full-size mattress. So when you're inside the tent, you have a ton of space, like a lot of room. There's little bungees here, so when you close the tent, it pulls it to each other. Also, this is a pre-production model. So since then, they've had a bungee that will go around the whole entire exterior of the tent. So when it closes down, it pulls itself in. Like I said, it's extremely large. It's carpeted, closed self-foam insulation all the way around. Me and my wife sleep in this thing, and there's room to roll over. It's got the storage net inside. You also have the LED light, which is 2 different colors. You have a yellow and then a white. I like the yellow at nighttime. You have dual USBs to charge your favorite devices, iPads, phones, whatever. And those are powered up through a 50 amp Anderson plug. There's one on the inside, so if you want to run like a Goal Zero inside, you can run it straight to there. There is one of those connectors on the outside as well. So the doors all have an exterior net for bugs and stuff. They're all closable and accessible from the inside, so you'll just kind of zip them all the way around like so. If you want to have a big breezy kind of cabana type of setup, and if you want to completely black it out, this canvas is super heavy duty. It's super thick. So you close up the extra door and then bang. So now once you get all 3 of them zipped up, I actually zip them up here so you can kind of see. It gets super dark and tight, which is really nice because in the mornings when you get up, if you're not ready to get up from the sun, you just leave this thing zipped up and it's pretty dang dark inside. But yeah, so you got that, and of course the other door here. Once that one is all zipped up, you can kind of see what I'm talking about. So yeah, look how dark that is inside there, which is super cool. Granted, this is the middle of the day outside when I'm doing this, and you can see it's just very minimal light penetration. Turn your camp lights on at nighttime, white, yellow again. You can run them both, which is kind of like a warm. Of course, you open them back up. What's really cool about the tent, like I mentioned a while ago, you can leave full-size pillows and 4 season sleeping bags inside the tent when it is closed, which is awesome. Like I said, that's probably one of my favorite features about the tent, just because it's so big and it still has a 3-inch mattress inside of it as well. So it's really built for comfort, and it's built for heavy-duty expeditions. This thing is not, I guess, recreation built. It's purpose built in South Africa. They've been making these things over there since 2005 out of necessity, whereas here in America we do stuff kind of off of recreation, so it's a little different. It's different, so the tent is it's super heavy duty quality built tent. So to close the tent all back up, I'm kind of preparing to do so. You can leave all 3 of the doors zipped up about 3/4 of the way, or you can fold them totally down. It works either way. If you zip the doors all the way up, it will shut, but it kind of wants to bubble out because there's nowhere for the air to escape. I've gotten to where I will unzip all 3 doors like so, depending on the weather conditions obviously, but unzip all 3 doors like so, fold them all flat against each other, and then you can literally close this thing down with one arm. So here I'm crawling back out of the tent, but let's see, come back around the back. That's what it looks like all opened up with the rainfly deployed. I have slept in it in pretty windy conditions. The rainfly has very minimal, I guess, movement or flapping, I guess would be the right terminology. Right in the center and the front. Other than that, it's pretty solid. And it was pretty heavy winds when we slept in it that night. But pull the prop rods down, grab your rainfly. There's those bungees I was talking about. Just throw them inside there. Get the other side. Again, I'm doing it all with one hand, so you can see how easy this would be if I wasn't holding a camera, or if you weren't holding a camera. Pull the grab strap down and gently kind of pull it down, and then you can kind of see it all kind of wants to fold into itself. Always just check the sides, make sure the doors aren't coming out. See, that's where it benefits having the doors zipped up 3/4 of the way so the rolls don't fall out like they are right there. Anyway, once you got that done, even so though, you can see how easy it was. Pull it down, and then that's basically it. There you go, 2 heavy-duty stainless steel latches, and then close them down. There is locks on them as well, so if you want to lock your tent up, which is definitely a cool idea, especially if you got your bedding inside of it, you can lock it up with a padlock there. And then of course the ladder mount, like I said, this is not the production model, but it is the same concept, mounted to the load bearing bars up top. You can, like I said, mount 176 pounds of gear on top of the tent only when the tent is closed. When the tent is open, you obviously need to remove the gear before you open the tent up, as those gas struts won't hold the weight up unless it's unloaded. Other than that, that is basically it. Like I said, this thing is massive. It's 7.5 feet long by 57 3/4 inches wide. So it's a large tent, like I mentioned before. The mattress is 7 foot 3 inches by 54 inches of dual density foam, which is basically a full-size mattress. It's a little longer than a full-size, but it's the same width as a full-size mattress. But if you're in the market for a rooftop tent, this is definitely something I would consider looking at. Like I said, I've slept in 3 different soft shell tents and a couple different wedge style tents, and this is by far my favorite just because of the sheer size and the quality of how it's built and its construction. This is not really like a full review video of it, and I would like to do another video of it a little bit more in depth here soon. Stay tuned for that. We're gonna be going to Colorado next month, and I'll try to get some more footage and content of it, and really do some in-depth content of this specific tent. But anyway, this is just a quick little video about the Penthouse Rooftop Tent XL model. So thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.